There's a reason that you can't stop scrolling. And it's not because you don't have any willpower, and you're not going to change it by thinking differently. I'm going to tell you something that I learned from my dad, who was a psychology professor. He explained to me that a lot of people think they can think their way out of behaviors that aren't productive. Most people think that they have free will, but most of the things that we do, we are unaware of. He told me about how this works. Most of our behavior is conditioned. Not to say that thinking isn't important, and it can have an impact on what we choose to do and how we can shift our life. But you can't do that if you're not aware of how we're programmed and how our brains function on a day-to-day basis. It's not a stretch to say these apps are designed to manipulate us. And yet, we get on them every single day, and then we blame ourselves for the amount of time we waste scrolling through a feed. I'll tell you briefly about this, and if you're interested, I did a whole video on it, which you can watch on my Patreon or on my YouTube. There's a concept called shaping. What it basically means is that when you want somebody to change their behavior, you find a behavior that they'll do that is close enough to the behavior that you want to see, and you gradually reinforce that behavior over time until eventually you get to the behavior you want. This isn't a crazy idea. It's the way you train a dog. But we have been trained on these apps to behave in similar ways. And I woke up the other day and it hit me. We are running through behaviors that we've been trained to do over time. So if you want to know more about this, I'm interested in getting off the digital plantation and onto our own platforms. I love being online and I love connecting with you. And at the same time, I know that if I'm on this app for 2, 4, 6 hours a day, I'm not doing the things that I was put on this earth to do. And I want to encourage you, and I want to encourage myself to find ways to build platforms off of these apps that actually allow us to connect and keep us from this endless scroll, which in some cases is getting us nowhere. So if you're interested, please check out my video on Patreon or YouTube, and I hope to see you there.